Hi Emma, great to meet up with you this morning up at the range once again. Just to recap on the work that we did, the first two things we discussed were in the setup. We'd like to see the feet turned out approximately 15 degrees both feet. That's going to improve your ability to turn and move forward during the downswing, which going forward a lesson or two down the line is something that we certainly need to look at. However, the main concern this morning was that the lack of right tilt in the finish. We can see the follow through position nowhere near the same as the setup position, so we can see the spine is tilted forward a certain amount, so we've got a certain inclination to the ground at setup. We do a pretty good job of maintaining that during the backswing, but then on the way through, hips moving towards the ball, we tend to extend and come up and out of a lot of shots. Part of the reason for that is because we get a little bit too much across the line. Consequently, that will cause us to hit out too much, and in an attempt to try and get the club back online, we stand up and rotate the hips a little bit too much with not enough forward movement. So what we've got here now are some swings where we gradually try and progress and maintain the inclination to the ground, and we can see here on the third one along we're doing a much better job of maintaining our inclination that we had at setup. So there's your setup angle, and there's the follow through angle. So we're looking to hit some shots and maintain or look for maximum right tilt in the follow through. So rather than standing up as we come through the shot, we're going to try and feel like we tilt a little bit more to the right during the shot, keeping us down. That in turn will improve our ability to maintain the shaft lean coming into impact. If we look at you from face on today, there's much less of a flip than we had in your previous session. That backswing you make there is really good in regards to how centered you stay, certainly compared to previously with your foot flow where both feet were turned in. So both feet turned out encourages a better turn, a more centered backswing. As we now come through impact, better shaft lean coming into impact, much less of a flip on the way through. As we said, we'll work a little bit more on the extension and the finish as we go. Now once we'd understood the amount of right tilt and maintaining the right tilt, what we then looked at was the backswing position. First of all, the club tends to roll behind you too much, and as a result we get a little bit too much across the line. This is you midway through your session. We've done a little bit of work on the grid, which we'll come to in a second or two. Club now rolling a little bit less behind you, starting to get a little bit less across the line. Now towards the end of your session, remember all we're doing here, Emma, we've put the ball forward in the stance, we've closed the blade off, and we're trying to get this ball to start left and cut to the right without crossing your target line. So basically what we've got to do is we've got to swing further left than the blade's pointing. Now because we've suggested that and we've put the grid down here, we've got the club down here to sort of illustrate where we want the arms to swing in the through swing. There's the line that we want to hit down, and without any talk of backswing, what we're going to see now is we're going to see a takeaway that's a little bit less roll behind us, and the top of the backswing position that's much less across the line than at the start of your session. Ultimately what we would want to see, we would want to see a similar arm position, but a shaft a little bit more laid off. But in order to arrive at that position, we have to gradually work from where we were at the start of today's session to where we were at the end of today's session. So all in all, towards the end of the session, much more compact looking golf swing, much less across the line, and as a result we were then able to attack the golf ball a little bit more. You can see the club outside the hands as opposed to the club behind the hands. So you've affected the backswing and downswing by using the grid that's on the ground. Remember, it's a drill, it's a balancing effect. It's an attempt to just balance off this laid off, this across the line position with a little bit more of a laid off position. Ideally, what I'd like to see is some footage of you in about a week or so's time. You should start to see the shaft in a more laid off position at the top. We should start to see the takeaway a little bit more out in front of you in regards to the club head during the backswing. Once we get that position, what I'd like to do, email it across to me. Let's have a little look at it. We'll talk it over and then get together again a week or so's time and do some more work on it after that. Good luck with it, and I'll speak to you again soon.